Hello and welcome along to the Where's My KitBag podcast featuring the three lovely media technicians of the Sixth Form College Farnborough, featuring myself, James.
Me, Will.
And I'm Steve.
Will's back, everyone!
Yay!
Will, how are you feeling?
Alive! Much better, thank you. It was a very up and down roller coaster of illness. I have medication now, feeling much better, and I'm back for the pod.
Work priorities.
Nice.
Thanks, crowd. Steve, you alright?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Still
Cool.
trucking on, doing the business.
Always keep trucking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Cyber trucking.
The grind never stops.
Nice. The grind never stops.
Yeah.
Much like, that should be on a skateboarding product.
Watch me get ill now.
Yeah, stay away from me. That's what I'm
We'll
saying.
be ringing you in
Just first-
next.
The grind stopped.
The grind has stopped. Oh, that sounded
But
a
no,
bit like Yoda. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm
Right. In which case, shall we crack on with a bit of the old department news, Steve-O?
Yes.
Steve Kell, any department news?
Not really, actually. I mean,
All right, segment over. Right, moving on.
I thought he was just going to go, no.
no, there is. There's actually been 2 sets of exams in the last week, haven't there?
Yes, there
Because
has.
there was exams the day after last week's pod, and there are
Yep.
exams today.
Yep.
Both of which were for CTech, but for different years.
Yes.
Ah,
So the
see,
one
look at me
today,
being on it.
was the social media and globalization exam for the Unit 6,
Nice.
second years.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, students seem to be fairly pleased. But then again, I've not spoke to every single student, so there could be a few very upset ones. But for the most part, it was as expected and seemed to go very well. If you're listening to this and you sat in the exam, nice one. Yeah, congrats. It's out the way. Don't worry about it anymore. Move on. As long as you gave it 110%, as I gave you the motivation to do last year, then onwards and upwards.
Nice.
Coursework time.
What has been a funny exam experience you've had, or a bad exam experience?
I can top this off. I
Okay.
can start.
Go on.
Wasn't me, but one of my best friends. This was when Tiny Temper's reign was a thing, and it was start of the exam. This was actually for GCSE English back in my old school, and it was like those Twitch perfectly timed moments.
Yes.
The lady, the invigilator
perfect.
at the start was like, "This is the last chance for anybody to hand in their phones. So if you hand in your phones, basically. If not, you'll get in trouble." And there was a moment about 5 or 6 seconds silence, and then all you heard from the back of the room was "Labyrinth, come in." and my friend's phone just went off.
No.
And he went so red.
Oh
Fortunately,
my
they took
God.
him out of the hall. I think they gave him a little telling him off, and then they actually did let him
Oh
back
my
in.
goodness.
But it's the way he stayed quiet and he didn't declare it.
Was
Why?
it
I don't
on
know.
him?
Yeah, he had it in his pocket.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it was one of those slide-up Sony Walkman phones, so it was quite loud. I don't know what the song is, but I think it was "Pass Out" by Tiny
Yes.
Temper. Yeah.
Oh,
This is-
Pass
Wait,
Out, up in here.
I can use that as a bridge to my story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
no,
yeah,
I think I know
yeah,
this
you know
story.
this
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
So it was in the middle of my English exam, GCSE. Yeah. And so there's these 2 guys sitting on the far right end of the hall, massive sports hall. And the guy in front drops his paper, and it kind of goes flattering down and lands behind him. And he's like, "Oh, snap!" So he goes to get up, and then the dude behind him's like, "Oh, I got it." Leans over the desk and passes out.
What?
Yeah. Leans over the desk, blacks out, hits the floor. All we hear is this thud that kind of echoes across the hall.
Dun, 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 dun.
Everyone's like, this gasp just kind of echoes across the whole sports hall. And then you see all the invigilators run over. Then everyone's like, up, you got to get out. Ambulance comes, he gets taken away. He's all fine, luckily. But that was a pretty traumatic
Wow.
experience. They just gave us a predicted grades.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was pretty happy with that.
Wicked.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
Wicked.
Yeah.
I've got 2. One as a student, one as an invigilator.
Oh, really?
for it.
Yeah, I've done both
Start
now.
from the bottom. Start with
Well,
students.
as a student, this was back when I was doing GCSEs, so that is
It's all GCSE.
some years ago. It was a really, really hot day. It was like baking hot, and we're obviously in a sports hall, which is metal roof. Just the whole room just gets incredibly warm. Chuck 150 odd kids in there. So we're all sat in there. And oh god, I've actually got 2. I've just remembered another one. Which one would you like? This original story.
Just continue
Alright,
with
the
this.
original one.
Continue with this.
So it was really warm. I suffer from loads of nosebleeds, so I was very surprised this didn't happen to me. But a kid, a few rows over to my left, huge nosebleed on the paper. That's
no.
obviously
On
be
the
like,
paper.
yeah.
Oh.
So just blood, just like the kid was like, like finger up his nose, like trying to stop it,
Oh,
hand
no.
up, like. But blood basically just fell on his paper. So I think they gave him his predicted grade as well.
Yeah.
The second story, much faster, different exam. I did triple science, so we had to like stay longer because our exam was like an extra half hour longer. So as like the invigilator was going around picking up all the papers from the people who just did double science, this kid just let off this huge fart.
Oh,
like literally asserting dominance level fart, and everyone, like all of us who were still studying, we just kind of stopped. It was quite funny.
God. Talk about relief.
Yeah. Probably.
It's done. It's over. I finished the exam and the whole body relaxes.
Oh, dear.
Talk about relief. That's a great title for the pod. Otherwise, the story is an invigilator. Obviously, invigilating is very dull and boring. Do not recommend it to anyone unless you're getting paid for it. So I was invigilating here in some of my earlier years here. And we as the invigilator team, because obviously we knew each other. So it was a couple of guys from like IT, a couple of guys from like registry or whatnot. And we tried to spot students that looked like celebrities and stand behind them.
So that's what invigilators do when we're doing exams.
So yeah, because we tried to play Pac-Man, but we couldn't because there wasn't enough space between the rows. But yeah, no. So we went for stand behind kids that look like celebrities. Which was quite good fun.
Oh.
So you'd go, I'm going for Tom Cruise, and then you'd wander down the hall.
No. What you would do is you would kind of you'd walk up either next to or stand behind was preferred, but obviously might not be enough space. So normally stands are the kids to your right, and then you just kind of like do a little like a head like a little head move / eye bobble, clock someone else. Then at the front you kind of like meet and be like, mine look like Jennifer Aniston. And then like theirs would look like, I don't know, Tom Cruise or whatever. And then we'd like compare and go, oh, yeah. It was great. Trust me, a 2-hour general studies exam was dull enough.
All right. Well, sorry we hijacked your old department news there, Steve.
It's all right. I'm finished.
Yeah.
You don't put that thing back on.
It's coming back, Steve. You keep going.
Well, if anything, it's actually a bit of an update on Film Club. I actually it got brought up to me that because, bear in mind, again, people still do not believe that Get Out did win the vote, which is actually something I forgot to put on What Have I Been Watching. If you wouldn't mind, I'll talk about that later.
Yep.
I saw Get Out at Film Club. But it won the vote. Again, I actually checked it. It went up to 49%, weirdly enough, but when I've been resetting it for next week's vote.
Out of 3?
No,
not 49 out of 2.
Out of 51, actually. 6 more people weirdly voted.
I meant 3 films, because if it was out of 2, then it would have lost.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, my
it's like 49%, guy.
I can actually announce what the films are going to be for the next vote, because I've actually done it ready for the newsletter to go out on Monday, so that's actually an early teaser.
Because the pod now comes out on Friday now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So interesting one. Only 7 people turned up for Get Out, and I was a bit confused because we had at least 17 votes for Get Out, which was odd. I don't know the specific number. You can do the maths, 49% to 51. Either way, it's a lot more than 17 now I think about it. Either way, last time I checked it was at least 17. So when I walked in, there was only 7 people. I was a bit confused. And basically, a lot of them said that they'd already seen Get Out, so they didn't want to come and watch it. So I didn't really understand that logic, so I'm trying to figure it out. Basically, the recommendation that I got from the students is they want to see stuff that isn't, like what weird classes, like a, not a triple A title, mainstream, everybody's seen it
something
kind
more
of
niche.
Bit more niche, and more people turn up. That's why a lot of people didn't turn up, and we only had probably 7. Either way, the 7 people that did watch it thoroughly enjoyed it. It was actually really, really good. The next voting will be La Haine, French film. Crime drama, 1995.
Oh.
Last Film Club's second place one, as it got requested. What we're going to do is every second place film, if it's close, it will go into the next draw. So it's 1976's Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, which is also crime drama.
Yep.
And the other one is also crime, but it's crime documentary. It's 2012's The Imposter. All of which, if you were a student in 2012/2013, you would have studied them in film studies. Ironic.
Ooh.
That's how that all works out. But yeah, those are the 3 films that have been picked for the February screening. I believe it's going to be the second Monday of February, but I have to confirm as I haven't yet had confirmation. Have sent the email many days ago, but yet no confirmation, so I'm out to do it in physical person. Irrelevant because it's still very far away. However, those are the 3 films. You'll be able to vote with them from Monday onwards. Very exciting. Film clubs are growing, which is cool. What else has happened? I think that's it, actually, besides Film Club. Yeah, the newsletter's the newsletter at the end of the day.
Nice.
Go check it out. That's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Do we want to discuss Oscar nominations within this, or leave that till later?
It's completely up to you. You've loaded them, so let's have a gander.
I mean, I haven't clicked the button yet, but yes.
Let's have a look. I haven't seen any. To be fair, I've not seen any of the news.
How about we talk about the nominations instead of tech news? Because tech news was a bit... unfortunately, there hasn't been much bits of tech aside from CES 2020.
Yes.
Which there was a few bits and bobs which might browse over, but...
Well, how about we put an extra section called Oscars and we'll do a very quick tech roundup.
Yeah, sounds good.
Done.
Sounds good.
So,
all right.
Best Picture. Who's going to win? So we got Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite.
I haven't seen it yet, but from what everywhere is going, I think 1917.
That's what I put my money on.
It makes sense to. Ford versus Ferrari would be awesome.
I hope
love
Ford
to see
versus Ferrari
that
wins, but then I'm a dreamer.
Well, at least it's got a nomination.
Yeah,
though.
it's great. If it wasn't to be that, it'd probably be The Irishman, I reckon. For some reason, Joker just isn't really, besides obviously for the acting, it doesn't really seem to be ticking many boxes for to win awards for best film. Especially now people are rewatching it outside of the cinema, annoyingly. But yeah, there you go.
True. So our money's on 1917,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
so.
hopeful with Ford versus Ferrari, but it won't get it. So actor in leading role: Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCap, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jonathan Pryce.
I kind of backed up my own point. I think Joaquin will take it for Joker.
Joaquin, yeah, because didn't he win the
Golden Globe?
Yep, Globes
Yes.
for it.
I mean, it's kind of hard. I can't really comment on many of them because I haven't seen
No.
Two Popes, haven't seen Marriage Story, haven't seen the other Pain
Pain
and
and
Glory.
Glory.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't here last week. What did you think of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood doing so well at the Golden Globes?
Oh, it's fair enough. Personally, I just didn't see it. I really didn't get along with that film. A lot of people like it. I don't know. I think my girlfriend, being an actor, she pointed out a lot of flaws in terms of sort of the roles, especially the female roles, and you can once she made a few good points, and once she said that sort of towards the beginning of the film, it kept recurring, the things that were happening to them. And just the vibe of the film, nothing really happened. It's based on the Manson murders, but they don't really address it. And I don't know. Didn't really go anywhere for me, I guess.
You're scrolling quite
Yes.
fast there, Belle, but I
was
noticed
just having
that
a gander.
the Golden Globe winner for animation isn't even nominated for an Oscar.
What one Golden Globe animation?
I can't life remember, but it isn't one of them.
Ooh,
Let me triple check.
interesting. While Steve triple checks, actress in a leading role, you've got Cynthia Erivo, Scarlett Johansson, Saoirse Ronan, Charlize Theron, and Renee Zellweger. Any thoughts on that? I don't think I've seen any of those films.
No,
so
I don't think so either. I really want to see Little Women.
But Dan very much liked Little Women, so I'm going to assume Dan's vote of Saoirse Ronan, and we'll just follow suit.
Yeah,
okay.
Missing Link has not been nominated based on that list, but it did win the Golden Globe.
Oh, cool.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh, hello there. Supporting role, you got Hanks, Hopkins, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Brad Pitt.
Al Pacino was amazing. Joe Pesci was amazing. Brad Pitt was pretty good.
T. Hanks. Everyone loves
I've
Tom.
not seen that.
Apparently,
Nor have
this
I.
is the first time
Apparently
he's
it's quite
been
good.
nominated for an Oscar.
No.
I saw that on Facebook.
No, he got nominated for a film at the same time as Gladiator, but didn't win.
Wasn't Saving Private Ryan, was it?
No.
Oh.
Was it Gump? No, it wasn't. It was Castaway. He got nominated for Castaway. I think it's his first time being supporting actor, not lead, maybe. But yeah, I love T. Hanks. Otherwise, actress in a supporting role, you got Kathy Bates, Laura Dern, obviously from J Park. That's where I know her from.
Olive said
Scarlett Johansson
was excellent.
top and bottom.
Jojo Rabbit.
Florence Pugh, obviously from our favourite film, Midsommar, and Margot Robbie.
Interesting.
Although apparently Margot Robbie didn't do anything in something, but that was for the Golden Globes, not for Bombshell, which
Oh,
has
that was
actually been
my
nominated
opinion
for.
in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Otherwise, other sort of featured ones, you've got animated...
Missing link is in that. My apologies.
Yes,
it is
it's
in there.
right there. It says it in text. Otherwise, animated feature film, you've got How to Train Your Dragon, the third one, I Lost My Body, Klaus, the Netflix animated film, Missing Link and Toy Story 4.
Oh, there's the Disney film.
There's Team Pixar.
How to Train Your Dragon. Fingers crossed. Love that.
Ooh. See, I think if a Pixar's up, Pixar will win it.
Yeah.
Just for the hair animations in Toy Story 4. Oh, lush. But I did like How to Train Your Dragon, the third one.
No, I just like the franchise.
Hidden
I don't think
World.
it's not the strongest film out of those, but it's still.
Roger Deakins.
Yeah, Roger Deakins is up for cinematography, as is The Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I assume if Irishman wasn't to win cinematography, it'd win special effects for the essentially deep faking.
Yeah, deep faking, yeah. Various things are directing. Obviously, you got Scorsese for Irishman, Phillips for Joker,
Don't know about
Sam Mendes, not Sean Mendes, for 1917.
Fuming if Tarantino won that.
A few friends.
Tarantino.
A few friends have put out a meme about another year where a female director has not been nominated for the Oscars.
I think diversity in general.
Yeah,
but like if you look at the
if
you look at the leading male, leading female, I don't think any of them.
Shame.
No, I think leading female, there is, Cynthia Erivo. I mean, that they're more focusing on a sort of difference of age, I think, more this year. It's quite apparently it's the oldest, what is it? It's the oldest best supporting actor category ever, where leading actor, supporting
average?
actor. Average age is 60 nearly, or something. Otherwise, what else has taken my opinion? You got film editing. Obviously, Joker's got, is it 10 or 11 noms?
Yeah, something like that.
I think something ridiculous.
I think it was 11.
Les Mis still up for an Oscar.
Les Mis, France, international feature film. Maybe it's a different version, not with huge act man. You got obviously music. Star Wars pops
I think
up.
Joker's
I was
going to
say I wouldn't be surprised if Joker won that.
Well, it depends. Obviously, 1917. We'll see it on Sunday. Steve, was it particularly good?
Not as memorable as Joker's.
Oh, I see. Original song. I've obviously got Toy Story. You got basically the Disneys in there. Anything vaguely music with obviously.
Apparently, Uncut Gems. Adam Sandler's one.
Yeah, apparently that was amazing.
Insane, but that's not been nominated
been snubbed
anywhere.
Massively. What else? Short film live action, sound editing. Yes, Ford versus Ferrari plus. I did get around to watching Ad Astra in the end.
Never watched that.
It was all right.
Okay.
It was all right. But yeah, they were up for sound mixing in that one. Obviously, visual effects Endgame versus basically Irishman. I don't think Star Wars will get it. I don't think Star Wars will get it.
Endgame was pretty insane though.
Endgame is obscene. It's probably the most ambitious thing ever, with the amount of CG going on.
It'd be nice to see the Irishman win it for a bit of originality with some new VFX.
I don't think it'll be Lion King. Definitely don't think that'll be Lion King for best visual effects. 1917. I don't know. Depends. I haven't seen it. But is it basically it's no Endgame? I'm assuming.
Not on special effects.
So essentially, you've got Endgame, Portals versus Deepfake. Essentially, pretty much. And that's pretty much it for most of it. For most of the big, I'd say the bigger categories, as it were.
We will see. When's it? Beginning of February, isn't it?
February the 9th.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to start really, really late, it's probably on our time about midnight, 1 a.m. If you really want to stay up. But remember, you got college the next day. Bear that in mind. So that pretty much ends up our Oscar roundup. Will,
cool.
Would you like a quick tech rundown?
Let's do it.
There it is.
That was good. That was good.
Well, over to you, tech roundup. Nice, thanks. Great work there, Will.
I thought you were going to play track.
I thought the tune was coming back.
Oh no, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Across it all over
Just
the place.
for you.
All right, here we go. So yeah, really quickly, CES 2020, start of every year. Some big things announced. There's lots and lots of sort of gaming related stuff. AMD announced some new processors for laptops, which look incredible. They're also upgrading the internal graphics as well. So the graphics that come with a CPU, you'll be able to do a lot more with, which is quite nice. They can put it in a smaller package. LG are promoting their rollable TV display, which they have shown before, but this time they've flipped it up, so it now drops down from the ceiling, a bit like a projector screen.
Cool.
Very similar to Samsung's one from a couple of years ago.
Apparently that makes it obviously easier with gravity on your side, kind of to help with the mechanisms and stuff, whereas before it was kind of pushing itself up. OnePlus has a interesting take on their rear camera. So basically it has got a density filter on the back, and it's controlled with electrons, so the more that pass through it, the darker the glass gets. So when you're not using it, it goes dark. And the idea is by the time you click on the app button and it opens, the electrons can be shut off, and then it opens it up again. It was more of just a show off of like what we can do. But this technology has been used already in like cinema cameras and stuff. So the Sony FS5 has an electronic ND filter, and that works on the same principle, where it's really clever. It doesn't matter what lens you have. You don't put it on the front of the lens. It actually goes on the. It's actually like built into the sensor. So any lens you put on, you can put an ND filter on, which is really cool.
Nice.
Sony kind of showed their car they brought out. Everyone was a bit kind of blown away by that. It looked pretty amazing. Lots of tech inside. Purely concept, but who knows if that's something they'll venture to in the probably distant future.
Well,
but
will it come free with a mirrorless camera?
Who knows? Yeah, what was this 8K TV?
So I noticed, I thought this was quite interesting, where obviously everyone wants that kind of bezel-less just screen with no edges. And Samsung have basically made an 8K TV that is 99% screen at the front.
Wow.
So it's got like the thinnest bezel ever, and you can barely notice it. Especially from quite far away. It just kind of blends in with whatever your background is, whether it's a picture or a wall or whatever.
And it's 8K.
Yes, it is 8K in about a sort of like 50, 60-inch body, I think it was, roughly TV sky size. But obviously it is kind of misleading seeing it in a giant warehouse, because you're like, oh, mate, that looks tiny.
Yeah.
But then when you put it in your house, oh, my God, that's huge. So a little bit interesting there. Obviously 8K becoming more a thing now in TVs, but obviously still costing 2 arms, 2 legs, and a kidney.
Yeah.
But yeah, LG's rollable TV. If you got $60,000 burning a hole in your pocket, you can get that. Don't know what the price is for the 8K one. Didn't tell me.
Cool. And another one. Pokemon did their direct as well, and they showed off 2 things. They're remaking the original Mystery Dungeon, if there's any fans of that out there, and they also announced a DLC pass for both games. So there's an individual one for each game, so if you own both, you have to get both if you want that. But it adds 2 new expansion passes over the course of the year, adding a new like wild area to visit and more Pokemon as well.
Nice.
I thought you could get both of them, or are they separate DLCs?
They're separate DLCs for the game, but the pass covers both DLCs. So there's one for Sword, one for Shield, but they both come in with the thing, because they're slightly different in terms of the content they have.
Interesting.
Correct. Otherwise, last thing that I saw, you know how Motorola's Razr foldable phone folds downwards on itself, like long ways. Samsung have made a similar thing called the Galaxy Bloom. Imagine a tablet that folds in half. And then doubles to the size of 2 tablets. But instead of folding like the Galaxy Fold, folding like a book, it folds like up, down, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to visualize.
Like a flip book.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
Cool.
I was trying to do it with my hands, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain this with words. But yeah, so that is, I have no idea if that's on the way, but it's called the Samsung Bloom.
Cool. Yeah, well, that wraps it up.
I've got one more.
Yeah,
it's a very quick announcement.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really that big of a deal, but Canon announced that they're going to discontinue the production or manufacturing of EF mounts. Which kind of makes sense, because they've made every kind of angle you can ask for, and they're going to focus on RF for the future. But apparently, I didn't know this, the EF mounts have actually been being made for 30 years.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go. Canon's going on to the
Wow, that's actually huge news.
Is that a
they're going to still
moment?
keep manufacturing them, like building
and not
them,
make new
but
ones.
there's going to be no more new ones.
Interesting.
But I saw a photo of all of them put together, and you don't really need any
no.
more.
That's a lot of lens.
So yeah, there you go. Interesting.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, thanks for the quick old roundup there, Mr. Devlo.
Cool.
Otherwise, shall we get on with some tune of the week?
Yeah.
Now, as Steve will attest, I had a dilemma this morning.
Yeah, I've heard both of the two
Yes.
potential entries.
So I heard two songs. I was like, I want to pick both, but I can't because it's not a special pod. So I've limited myself to one this week, one next.
What have we got?
So we have, this was the backstory of hearing this. I was in the car, driving home from work. Picture the scene. It was probably raining. And on comes the radio, this artist called Tall Saint. Imagine spelling the word All Saints with a T at the front and no S at the end.
Okay.
And I heard this song and went, pretty good. I'm going to Google that when I get home. Get home. Have a glass of water. Keep your hydration up, kids. And I searched this artist, and I was very shocked that they only have 26 subscribers on their YouTube topic channel, which is that one
And
of
they're
those
on the
auto-generated one. Yeah. So I was like, hello there. I've come in early. Now I could be a true fan, and then whinge when everyone like plays this in like a year's time or something. So it's the artist is called Tall Saint, and her song is called Model Effect. It's how would you describe it, Steve? You've listened to it. What would you? Yeah, you said you would listen to this more than the other song.
I'd listen to it more than the other song, but it's very. You could hear it on a runway in Paris during Fashion Week, I could say. It's quite good. It's very
electro indie boppy.
Yeah,
kind
very,
of thing.
very. It could probably actually get into the charts if an outside, shout. But I quite liked it. The thing I liked about it, as you said, is 26 subscribers, but I think it had under 500 views. The video as well, which was even more impressive.
And there was one of her songs that I found that I was view number 20.
Nice.
Yep, because I could see it. I was view number 20. Tall Saint, Model Effect. If you like, kind of like, I would say kind of almost spring, summer vibe, almost. Yeah. If you want to, think about a sunny day rather than the torrential downpours that we're having at the moment, I would definitely recommend it. I'll put it on, well, hopefully it's on Spotify. If it's not, oh dear. Yeah. I'm going to have to put a link to...
We will find it.
We will track it down somehow. But when it eventually gets on Spotify, if it isn't already,
it will be... Spotify, I just checked.
Nice. Thanks, dude. It will be on the Where's My KitBag playlist, which you can get and listen to all the previous tracks of the week. So, Tall Saint, Model Effect, give it a listen, see what you think. Be subscriber number 28 or something.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Lovely.
Wicked. Well, that was nice and easy. Shall we move on to a little bit of what have we been watching?
Oh, yeah.
Who would like to start us off? Steve?
I'm top of the list, I guess.
Steve is top of the list.
I've got two quick ones. I'll start with the one from Film Club. I guess you could probably chuck a spoiler warning on this because you both have seen Get Out.
It's
been out for a while.
Ago, yeah.
2017, 3 years ago.
A little spoiler warning.
Yeah, so watched Get Out at Film Club. Obviously, not many people turned up to Film Club because they'd already seen it, so I'm going to, deep dive in. I thought it was really good. I thought I saw Us before I watched Get Out, and I think I prefer Us more because it's a bit different, but I understand how I can't remember who the director is. It Jordan Peele?
Yep.
Yes.
Got launched into the limelight with Get Out because it's so it's such a talking point. I like the how it talks about race, but if anything, it's actually a very backhanded compliment in some respects because obviously they're taking the physical form of African Americans in that time, but they actually want them because they're actually better human genetics, which in theory is a backhanded compliment, though very racist, and it gets up a very interesting talking point. I found that very interesting. I thought the idea was a bit out there, but if it gets us talking about the issue of race, I'm all for it. I thought the story was very original. I really enjoyed Chris. I don't remember who the actor is, but I enjoyed Chris as a character. I liked the fact that he was very logical in regards to... Do you know when you're sitting in a cinema and you think, I really wish you'd just do this?
Yeah.
He does it. It's really odd. So the scene where he's where you realise that he's under an audio triggered hypnosis. You'd think just put something in your ears and go on a rampage. That's what I thought when she when I don't know when the mother taps the china, and I was like, just put something in your ear and you'd be absolutely fine. 5 minutes later, what does he do? Obviously, again, another topic on race is as I read in a lot of reviews, is that's the irony that picking cotton from his chair arm is the irony that actually saved him from the white folk, ironically, which is a really interesting point. And the only thing I didn't like, I don't know why he took it out of his ears. I'd have just left them in. But hey ho. Either way, I really enjoyed the fact that it makes the audience think, oh, just do that. And he actually just does it. And I really enjoyed that. A lot of films don't do the logical thing, which is really cool. Didn't really expect him to go on a bit of a killing spree, but at the same time, I don't blame him. The only thing, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you seen the alternate ending? A student, I really apologise if you're listening to this, a student who told me he was at film club. He said there was an alternate ending. So obviously, you know the ending where his friend, I don't know his friend's name, completely forgot, turns up in the police car.
The security
guard. And it's a bit of a light-hearted end to it because he's having a bit of a joke. The alternate ending is it's a real police officer that turns up, and obviously he has his hands around her throat at the time. He actually gets arrested and he gets put in prison, and the final scene is where the guy who's in the original ending comes to visit him, and he speaks to him in prison and basically says, can we go through the story again? And Chris's character is really defeated, but he almost seems quite at peace because he escaped. So he's just sitting in prison being like, I beat it, like it's over. And it's a very, very powerful and politically driven alternate ending. And I thought that was a very interesting talking point. I gave it an 8 out of 10. The reason I gave it an 8 out of 10 was, one, the hypnosis was a bit odd, but don't know how you portray it in film. I guess they did the best they could, but I thought that was a bit odd. And I didn't like how the police were portrayed typically. I know, obviously, again, it's another statement how police treat black people differently to white, which is, in America, that is clearly an issue. But I'd like to think at least someone would go and investigate, which obviously would then lead to the alternate ending making sense. But I don't like how the police kind of just turned it into a bit of a joke. Typically, they at least send someone to go and have a look.
Yeah.
That is the only bit I didn't like. That knocked the 2 points off for me. But I love the idea. I think it's really original. I love the topic it brings up, and it brings to light the issue of race and the mistreatment of minorities. I really like that. And I can see why Us got so much attention with how impressive Get Out was. So that's my thoughts.
Nice.
I don't know what you guys thought of it. I don't know, I talked a lot there, but
I haven't seen it for some time.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed it. I think
I'd like to watch it again now, knowing. I thought it was really interesting. I did think it was going to go through a bit of a horror route during the scene where the guy who takes the greenkeeper, essentially the groundsman, is running.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It just buzzes past him.
But I love all those little motifs of like why he was running, because he was trying to beat the other person who beat him all those years ago. Yeah, really, really cool. I loved all those things. So yeah, there's that. And the other thing I've been watching, which you could very much fall into the category of trash TV on Netflix, is Doomsday Preppers. Oh, these people, unfortunately, if Doomsday ever came, we'd be the people we'd run to. But at this current moment in the society we live in, these people are bonkers. Basically, it covers mostly Americans as they prep for what they perceive to be the doomsday, whether that be tornadoes or an apocalypse or the breakdown of the government. Or
these are people that are building like massive shelters underground.
Some are doing that. Others think that the ice cap's going to melt, so they move 10,000 feet above sea level, because that's what they think Doomsday will do. It's all very arguable and very warranted worries. It's just they've gone to a kind of intense extreme to the point of it's kind of weird. One of the highlights is in, I think, the first family you meet. The guy once a week goes out in a ghillie suit and tries to break into his own house to see if his family are like ready. And it's just this perfectly timed shot where the camera spins to like the basement entrance. This man in a ghillie suit just goes, "Hey, I got you." It's really weird. It's so bizarre. But it's trash TV. It was just something to pop on. And sadly, that's all I've really been watching this week. So that's me. Doomsday Preppers, it's like a 3 or 4 out of 10. It's nothing special, but it's quite funny just to have on.
It's background noise.
Yeah, and it's got that awful, terrible American narration.
Hi there.
No,
look at these people.
Yeah, these people are in the island in Nevada, Texas, 10,000 feet above sea level. And it's like, okay, chill.
Oh my days.
But yeah, that's
Will
me.
they survive the ice caps melting, Steve?
I like in it. They give them a score, and then they react to the score as well. So
Wait, what?
They say
Your preparations are only a 4 out of 10.
Your survival skills are 8, but your combat's 2. And she's like, well, I think our combat's extremely effective.
It's really weird.
It's a 2. No.
It's weird, but yeah, it's trash TV.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. You're next on the list, James.
I've barely watched anything. I suck.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm cracking on still through Designated Survivor, which is eating up most of my time. I haven't had like a huge amount of time. Bless you.
Thank you.
Stealthy sneeze, like it. I haven't had much time to just like spam through it, but I'm like 3/4 of the way through season 2 now. Still liking it. Still liking where it's going. I'm intrigued what obviously Mr. President is gonna have to poor Keith Sutherland. It's like literally like every episode, this poor guy's just got to deal with all this rubbish. I'm like, no way would he be doing that. He'd just be going playing golf. Or something like, nah, not today. Not today. Today's a golf day. Or something. So I'm quite enjoying that. I've rewatched a couple of episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine just because, you know, kind of like background noise. Still love it. Still amazing. It's huge replay value. Lots of YouTube, actually. Yeah, lots of YouTube stuff. Lots of Gordon Ramsay clips, because who doesn't love Gordon Ramsay clips?
I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen at the moment.
Oh, God. Oh, no, for me, it's like Hotel Hell.
Oh,
amazing. I was just like, what is this? Insert expletive here. Oh, God. And he's just going on about, you should not let people sleep in this room. It's filled with effing mold. It's
when
just
he does like
amazing.
the swab tests, isn't it? And it's like it's over 9,000.
Yeah, a normal score is up to 150. Your score 900. This is not fit for human living. I just love Gordon Ramsay because he's just so brutal, and like just seeing like obviously the poor waiters and waitresses come along, drop like some food on his plate. They just kind of stand there, takes a bite, immediately like drops it back on the plate. Blah, no.
Chimichuck it in the bin. Best one for the chimichanga.
Oh, God. And it's or when he like kind of goes around, he like holds the plate sideways and the food just doesn't move.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
no.
he's like, smell that, smell that. You just puts it
touch
in there.
touch it, it's raw, you dirty pig, no. Or like when always they go into like the fridge and there's always like
mold.
There's always raw meat next to cooked meat.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you bleeding idiot, you don't put raw meat next to cooked meat. That's
like
for rule 1.
Rule 1 of Fight Club, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's been entertaining my my all times basically. But yeah, no, just lots of Ramsay. I've got lots of things on my list now, but I just haven't had time to watch it. Hopefully this weekend I'll be able to watch a load. Along with 1917 with that man over there.
Yes,
Yes.
I am that man over there.
He is that man over there.
That's a good segue. That's a really good segue.
So, Will, without spoiling anything,
Yeah,
1917.
10 out of 10. Go and watch it. Don't watch any trailers. Go and enjoy it.
High praise.
In my top 5 ever.
Top 5
yeah,
ever?
I don't know what other people are saying. Personally, I thought the acting was like impeccable.
That's 2 dings. I was going to go 10, but I'll take 2.
Cinematography, mind-blowing. Special effects, amazing. The continuous shot thing, I guess subconsciously I noticed it, but being a videographer, that's just going to happen. But I think the 7 other people I went with would not have picked up the points where it was kind of like cutting to a different shot. And it was awesome. It breaks the 180 degrees rule, obviously, because it has to try and keep the camera flowing. And the idea is that you're always moving forward. That's the notion. So you're always moving forward, and it's set across 2 hours in real time, which is really cool.
Nice.
Well, I guess you couldn't break the 180 degree rule if you don't cut. Because you only break it as if you cross the line without physically moving the camera across the line.
Yeah.
True.
If that makes sense.
But if it's all one continuous
I'm
shot.
interested to see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But obviously something looks wrong.
It happens very early on, and you're like, that wouldn't normally happen in a film.
Interesting.
And then it keeps happening. Get used to it. I think. Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
I think, but that might be the cinematographer side of us coming through there.
Talking about continual shots, there was a really nice little feature on like BBC News 24 where they chatted. Well, it wasn't Mark Commode for once; it was someone else. But they were talking about different like continual shots and things. I just thought it was really nice. And this guy was like pointing out the guy was actually pointing out there's a secret cut, and you had like some obviously non-film people who were obviously didn't understand like how it was. So, oh my god, that's a separate cut! Whoa! And it was actually quite interesting seeing how they like snuck it all in. But yeah, carry on.
Have you seen Birdman?
Yes.
How do you reckon it compared to Birdman?
So Birdman uses a lot of the same scenery in its film, whereas the one goal they set out with this is that they never use the same set once the scene's completed, and everything's been built.
Wow.
Absolutely everything. Every trench you see, every house they go in, all of it has been
That's ridiculous.
built, which is
crazy,
unbelievable. But but you feel it because just how the light interacts with things, you know it's not CG or whatever, and it just feels so real.
Cool.
Honestly, yeah. Very. I'd say for me, I sat through it how I sit through a horror,
Edge of your seat.
like squinting my eyes, afraid for what's going to happen next.
Oh,
You're just holding your breath through the whole journey with them. All right, so I'll leave it at that.
Nice.
Yeah, good. You'll
High
enjoy it.
praise.
Yeah.
All right.
Next one, Six Undercover. This is a Michael Bay film on Netflix. It's starring Ryan Reynolds.
I have seen this.
Have you?
I saw this over Christmas though.
Oh,
I forgot
right.
I saw this.
Oh yeah.
It
Basically
clearly impacted on me so much.
it is like a knockoff film. It is. So imagine if Ryan Reynolds is playing Deadpool as a human. He's got that same persona, I think. He's a multi-billionaire who's basically disconnected. The reason he's a billionaire is because he made the special magnet stuff that's now in like Teslas and all that sort of stuff. And one day he decided that there was just like so much injustice in the world that wasn't getting done. He would just delete his identity and fight back, essentially. So he makes a team of 6 people who their kind of role is they all got a number 1 to 6, and then they're like a squad of people who have got like all the money in the world. They can go and fix things, essentially, taking out a person here, doing this, that,
Guns
there.
fire.
It's got like a 20-minute car chase sequence at the beginning, which is awesome. Really enjoyed that. The rest of the film's okay. I'd probably give it like a 4. But it's an enjoyable watch. It's pretty good. Pretty good, strong cast, I'd say. But that's about it, really.
I'd say all right action film 5.
Yeah. Watched some QB1. I've seen the first season of that now. I was really interested. It reminded me a lot of Last Chance U. However, what I liked about this, it was a lot more on the field than it was in the classroom, I think. And I really enjoyed that. And I think focusing on just like a player, it doesn't have to be the quarterback, but in this case it is, it gives just a sharper perspective. It is nice seeing like all the players and stuff, but I'm quite enjoying it at the moment and quite invested in the characters. And quite enjoyed the first season. Probably give it like a 6. Doesn't meet the same sort of like wow factor of Last Chance U, I think. It's still enjoyable. I don't know if you've seen that one, Steve?
Style?
I haven't actually. I don't
check
think
it out.
so.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think you'd enjoy that.
I'm guessing documentary
yeah,
style.
yeah, documentary style. It's believe.
Is it called QB1 Under the Lights or something
Yes.
like that? That's it.
Yeah.
I've seen it on Netflix. I've
Yeah.
never got around to watching it.
I believe they're just about to go into college.
Interesting.
So you
So
see
high school.
Yeah, so it's high school, and presume the rest of it is either they refresh it high school level or they follow them through to college and stuff. But I'm really enjoying it. And oh my goodness, Dark. It's been out for ages.
What
so
is
it's
Dark?
It's a German drama.
Okay.
It's 2 series, 10 episodes. It blows Stranger Things out of the water.
Wow.
Yeah, if you like Stranger Things,
My
you
God.
have to watch this. This is now also in my top 5 TV series ever.
Ooh.
It is mind-blowing.
Is it all in German?
Yes.
I might understand some of it without subtitles.
Yeah. So it's all in German. Do not listen to the English dub. It is terrible. Just go
Hello there.
with it. German with the subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't emphasize how good this show is.
What's it on?
It's all based around time.
Yeah.
And the premise of time, but it has such a unique take.
Ooh.
It's so different to like Doctor Who or literally anything else to do with time travel. It has such a unique perspective on it, and every episode you find out something that just like blows your mind. And by the end of it, I was questioning my own existence.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it does get quite complicated because you're essentially dealing with all sorts of timelines. But I'm not going to say any more than that. Watch it. I believe it's like 9.6, 9.7 IMD across the board and stuff. I'd give it a 10. There's nothing.
94% on Rotten
Yeah,
Tomatoes.
it's just amazing. I haven't seen the second season yet. Hopefully watching that this weekend. First season.
Oh, he's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
First season blew me out the water. It is like an adult version of Stranger Things,
Cool.
I'd say.
Ooh.
Sounds interesting.
Alrighty. Well, I'm surprised they haven't called it Dunkel because that would be dark in German.
Oh,
Dunkel.
drop in the bottom.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I've been watching, and I really enjoyed what I've been watching recently.
Nice. Well, Dark's going on my list. And that sounds. I love Stranger Things. So
you
I also
will be
love
ranting and
sciencey
raving.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's-
this could be a winner.
Yes.
And it's in German, and I might learn German more for it. This is gut, yeah. Yeah, is that pretty much it?
Yeah, that's it.
Obviously, me and Steve are off to watch 1917, so
Enjoy,
we'll give
boys.
a full rundown next pod.
Yep.
Obviously, you may have noticed that the podcast now comes out on a Friday. There you go. There's some news for you. We now record it on a slightly different day, which means it comes out on a Friday, so you can enjoy it over the weekend. Yeah, there you go. How nice are we? Give you a whole weekend to enjoy us. Oh, lovely. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to get in contact with us. Or if, as we had discussions in the Edit Suite earlier in the week, any future videos where we buy new kit, people want unboxing videos. What are your two thoughts on unboxing videos?
Yeah, we can see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
I mean, how well can we make a battery look cool? 'Cause
Challenging.
That's probably what we buy most of. Hey guys, look at this Amazon Basics AA battery.
Alkali battery.
Look at its rechargeability.
Not 1, but 2 A's.
This one's got 3.
Oh!
But it's smaller. Oh. So if we do end up buying any more kit, we will make an unboxing video just for you, and we'll check that on the Old Technic YouTube channel, which we're over 150 subscribers now. Hey! Get us up to 200 by the end of the year, because we got to 100 at the end of last year. So we want 200 by the end of the year. That's what we're after. Force your friends to subscribe, and anyone else you know. Otherwise, that pretty much rounds up episode 14 of the Where's My Kit Band podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I've been James.
I'm Will.
And I'm Steve.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Where's My Kit Bag podcast. Please feel free to drop us a comment about anything you want us to cover in the section below, or hit us up on Instagram/Twitter at F6 Media and Film.